So we have been waiting a while to hear more about this new update coming for Anthem, and it's going to come pretty soon, as in next week, and I'll have info about that later on. But this next update is pretty exciting. This includes the new vanity item system we have all been waiting for. That includes new armor, new emotes, and much more, and I'm really excited for this update. I'm really excited to show you why. If you're new, I'm Sons of the Abyss Gaming. Welcome to my channel. We've got a decent amount of things to cover, so let's get right into it and not waste any of your time. On March 20th, the developers of Anthem had a dev stream showing off the next update, as well as answering some very important questions from the community, which we will, of course, talk about in a moment. But first, I want to touch on my favorite aspect of this update, and that would be the Elysian catches. Now, there's a problem, a big problem in Anthem, and if you are not aware, that would be the lack of armor sets, emotes, and other customizable items to make your javelins feel, well, more like you. Well, they actually aim to fix that with what you call Elysian catches, which is a special type of chest that you can only find at the end of a stronghold. But here's the kicker, here's the best part of this. You have to actually defeat the boss to receive said loot. This is fantastic. That means no more going in there and choosing the experience in the strongholds for everyone. This will just increase the overall experience. This is a really nice touch. Alright, so these Elysian chests will reward you with several type of vanity items, such as new armor sets, which I'm very hyped for, emotes, javelin material, javelin graphics, crafting embers, and many other things to make your javelin look a little more badass. There's one other good thing about these chests though, that is that they actually require a key to open, which can be obtained by completing a daily task, such as completing a legendary contract, and that will reward said key. You may be wondering though, why is this a good thing? Well, it's simple. Doing this means players will actually have more drive to play outside that stronghold mode and gives you a good reason to repeat strongholds daily, which will in fact keep players in game for a longer amount of time. This just adds a lot more meatiness to the strongholds and makes it a lot more appealing to go actually run them. However, I have one worry, and that would be the microtransactions. I really hope they don't see this as a fit opportunity to put those keys up for real world currency. That would be devastating. It would devastate the community and it would just outrage us all. So I really hope that's not the case, which I honestly don't think it will be, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now to note, this is a limited time thing. At first I think we all believed it was a permanent addition to the game, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like it's on a time limit, so I will have more information about that when it's available. Another really frustrating issue that plagues Anthem has to do with its strongholds. Sometimes when you queue up to actually enter one, it would put you in the end of a stronghold instead, which is completely pointless. You get no loot from that. Well, that's actually fixed in this update, which is a very nice addition and shows that they're actually paying attention to some important issues. Now, they have also increased the loot drops for all chests and strongholds, free play modes, all across the board. I don't know how much it's increased, but the developer did mention that they did increase it a bit. Now, one thing that got on a lot of players' nerves is the time it takes to actually get into the forge to equip your items. It kind of messed up the momentum of gameplay because of the loading screens. Well, now you'll be glad to know you can actually access the forge anywhere almost instantly by simply going into the main menu. This is a huge help that will not go unnoticed. This will just bring a little bit more fun to the gameplay and a little bit less misery. Now, there is also a change that gets me excited to jump back into the world of Anthem, and that would be the boss loot changes. They made a change to where now you're actually able to get legendaries instead of just that one guaranteed masterwork drop. This is fantastic. That means all the items that drop from the boss has a chance to roll as a legendary besides the guaranteed masterwork that you get. So this is awesome. I can't wait to jump in and test this out when we get more information and when the patch drops. Now there's another big piece of content coming, and that is in the form of legendary missions, which actually spices up some of the old story missions with harder enemies and better loot. Now there will be one legendary mission available daily, but you can run the mission however many times you please, and they said there will be 6 missions available total. Now, PC players have also got a very important thing, the POV, the point of view sliders, which is something the community has voiced their opinions on for a long time, successfully, I might add. Something really exciting, they have actually said more story content is on the way, and the devs confirmed this by saying that their voice actors actually tweeted out that they were currently recording for Anthem in the recording studio, which is fantastic. This shows that they're not giving up on the game, they're actually working their asses off to make it better, and I can't wait to experience the new story elements they plan to add. Hopefully it comes sooner rather than later. During the stream, they go on to talk about the patch, including many fixes for the variety of crashes, as well as just increasing the overall performance on all platforms, which is always a welcome change. Another little change that'll probably affect us in a pretty big damn way, they actually increased the jetpack overheating speed by 20%, so you'll actually be able to fly a lot longer, especially if you're the Storm. I'm sure you'll be able to notice pretty big differences when you play as the Storm, but that's not it. They also decreased the amount of time you stay overheated, so not only can you fly longer, but you're under less consequences when you do overheat. And so when you're getting all that fire chunked at you by a Titan and you get overheated, that should be going away a lot quicker, which should add a little bit more to the gameplay and make it a little bit more fun. Balancing is what the devs touch on next, talking about changes coming, buffs specifically, to all the javelins and their component upgrades, and even new weapon component upgrades. And they actually give an example of this. They said there's a shotgun out there. Once you hit an enemy with all 7 shots, it will apply acid damage to said enemy. This is awesome, and they said there's one for every gun. So this is really cool, and I can't wait to explore the combinations of builds this will provide us with, and it's going to be so fun to make those type of videos. So it goes without saying, this next update should spice the gameplay up quite a bit. Now this isn't everything coming in the update. They have mentioned it's coming sometime next week, so I'll have another video covering all the changes as soon as they release their patch notes, which they said will be coming the day before the patch drops. Okay, before we end this video, I want to say something. I'm going to be releasing patch videos probably quite often for Anthem, so I'm going to have a little section at the end of every video that's called My Opinions, where I just go over my opinions over whatever we just went through. So let's go ahead and get into that. First off, the Elysian caches. I can't wait to experience that. I can't wait to see what kind of armor sets and emotes they'll be dropping. And the coolest part about this is, since it's a limited time event, that means maybe they'll bring different chests every couple weeks or every month, which will keep adding new and fresh content to the game, and that would be fantastic. And now the boss loot, don't get me started about the boss loot. That excites me probably more than the catches almost, because that is just awesome. I've been wanting bosses to actually be worth killing, because that's one of my favorite things in these type of games are the boss fights. And if they're epic, it's actually very cool. But if they're epic and have no loot, then it's kind of pointless. But they're fixing that, so hopefully we'll experience that pretty soon. The weapon components, I'm extremely excited for. Elemental weapons, that's what I've been waiting for. I mean, there's a few that exist, like a lightning bolt gun that shoots lightning bolts every once in a while. And there's a couple others out there, but I want to see more of these so we can explore the combination of builds, because I love making builds. It's so fun to make builds, and I love showing you my builds that I come up with. Now there's all kinds of other changes. The balancing, the ranger balancing, I really hope that's really well done. They've done all kinds of things to your ultimate. They've added all these little nice quality of life changes and bug fixes, and I can't wait to explore everything that is fixed once the patch notes release. So do not forget to subscribe if you want to be part of my many Anthem videos I have planned, and if you haven't, maybe check out my previous Anthem videos. They're actually not that bad. I'm pretty excited for what I have planned for the near and far future, and I hope you guys can join me on this epic journey. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sons of the Abyss Gaming. I'll see you in the next video.
I got broads in Atlanta, just to the lean the family, credit cards in the scammers.